I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Richie Joplin and Mark Nelson have the front row. Jared Swain, Kenny Passmore on the second. DJ Kenner, Darrell Klotz have the third row. Kevin Bruner and Danny Passmore on the fourth. Jerry Bergeron and Gil Guak round out your top 10. Rod Podgeter and Jeff Oakes 11th and 12th. Daryl Whitford, Tim St. Jean 13th and 14th. Gerald Poole, Mike Burgess 15th and 16th. Thomas Byram in 17th and Andrew Forrester rounds out the 18-car field here tonight. Hey, good evening, Kenny. Oh, congratulations, Kevin. That's awesome. Make sure you guys are following us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. If you're following us on YouTube, either later tonight or tomorrow, you'll get to see some exciting shorts from last night's race. Some of them including Kenny Storkson. Drivers coming down through the back straightaway. Pace car is in. Richie Joplin brings him out of turn 4. And green flag is in the air. They are down and away at the Lady in Black. Hey, good evening, Pete. Oh, caution already. Caution already involving Gil Guak. Don't forget, immediately after the race, we will have the community convoy up and running. Pete, you'll want to tune in. Oh, look like the outside line, something went wrong. Looked like Gil Guak just did not get going. Oh, Gil got on the gas and the car just snapped right into the wall. The 85 tried to get clear and come back up, but wasn't enough room. We also will have a bunch of trucking shorts coming out over the next few days, and some exciting news for Saturday and Sunday morning. We will have the Conliff Esports team 24 hours of spa. We'll have the first couple of hours, the final couple of hours, and maybe a little bit in between. Pete, I would love it if they came out with drag racing game on the level of iRacing. They used to have one back in the Papyrus days that was very, very detailed and just a ton of fun. Lights are out on the pace car. They'll stack back up. I stand corrected. I do believe they're going to go single file. They did not complete the first lap before the caution came out. Obviously, the incident happening on the start. Therefore, by NASCAR rules, they will go single file for the restart. Richie Joplin won here last time Home Motorsports was here. Can he do it again? Can he get off the line and run away with it? What game is it, Pete? I'll have to look into it. Looks like there is a delay on the restart. And looks like the admins made the choice. They are going to stack back up for the restart. I have made a note, Pete. Thank you very much. Who knows, in the very near future, you guys might get to see some drag racing. And here in just a few moments, we'll talk about something new we will be streaming sometime this week or weekend. But here we go. Pace car is in. Green flag is back in the air at Darlington. Richie quickly clears out to the lead. Mark Nelson looking underneath Jared Swaim. We heard Kevin Brenner talking about in pre-race. This is a track. You race the track. You do not race the other drivers. That's how you get in trouble. Jerry Bergeron now up 3 spots into 6th. Jared Swaim right on the back bumper of Richie Joplin. Jeff Oakes starting to make his way up through the field. Oakes already up 3 spots into 9th. Right behind him, Thanos up 5 spots into 10th. Hey, good evening, Kyle. Oh, Mark Nelson a little squirrely there, out of 2. The Iceman back in 4th. Kenny Passmore now in 5th. Mike Burgess also on the move, up 4 spots into 12th. Richie Joplin, Jared Swaim still out front. Ooh, Mark kisses the wall out of 2. Mark was starting to close back in, but getting his Darlington stride, lost some momentum. Jeff Oakes now up into 8th. Danny Passmore in 7th. Jerry Berger. Oh, Passmore kisses the wall. Kevin Bruner is drawn back to 9th. Remember, he did say tonight was his first time using his VR in these cars. Could make things a little interesting for him. Hey, congratulations, Kevin. Having a great night as always, Kyle. Richie Joplin, Jared Swaim still out front. Mark Nelson 1.5 seconds back. DJ Kenner starting to close in. Kenny Passmore sitting in 5th. Jerry Bergeron currently in 6th. Danny Passmore in 7th. Jeff Oakes currently in 8th. And Bruner in 9th. Gerald Poole still in 10th. Rod Potgieter in 11th. But look at Mike Burgess up 4 spots into 12th. Looked like Jared may have had a little problem. Looks like the exit of turn 2 is where the drivers are having the most trouble tonight. We talk about how abrasive this track is. They've been out there for 12 laps. Every one of these drivers would love a new set of tires right about now. Lap times already starting to fall off by as much as a second. Track temperature has gone up just a hair, now up to 119 degrees. Jeff Oakes has gotten past Danny Passmore. Now up to 7th. Jerry Bergeron got a little bit of a gap on him. Oakes about a second behind and closing the gap at the moment. Remember, Oakes came in tonight second in points. Current points leader Mark Nelson is up in 3rd at the moment as Jared Swaim looked like he was about to make a move on the leader, Richie Joplin. Swaim has been on Richie's bumper this whole race. I have to wonder about fuel strategy here tonight. The drivers can make it past the halfway mark on fuel. But will we see some of the drivers maybe coming in every 30 laps trying to do this on 2 stops and making up the difference on speed? Jerry Bergeron, a former champ with this group, now up into 6th. Jeff Oakes up to 7th. Danny Passmore has got a crowd behind him. Bruner closing in. Gerald Poole is there, and Rod Potgieter all right behind. Eighth, 9th, 10th, and 11th all separated by just a couple of car lengths. Mark Nelson has run down the top 2. Looks like Mark was conserving tires in the early going, and it has paid off. Another driver gaining ground now, though. DJ Kenner back and forth. 1.5 seconds back and closing. Whatever Mark's going to do here, he's going to have to make it quick and kind of easy. There's not much of a gap between the top two. He'll need to slide up, if possible, before getting to the next turn. Jerry Bergeron back in 6th. Now has to worry about Jeff Oakes, who just looks like Oakes just got himself a stripe. He is still closing in on Bergeron. Kevin Bruner starting to move back to the front. Remember, he started in 7th, dropped back to 10th early on, but now is making his way forward. Gerald Poole also making his way forward now into 9th. Rod Potgieter in 10th looked like he almost kissed the wall. Danny Passmore starting to fade just a little bit, trying to hold on till he can get some fresh Goodyears. Richie Joplin still has the lead, but Mark Nelson now to 2nd place, all over his bumper, and Jared Swaim is losing ground as the Iceman cometh. Mark starting to look under Richie. Off into 3. Holy cow. Mark had to hold on to it, keep it down low. Got a little bit loose. Mark was trying to make sure he didn't drift up into Richie, but it did cause him to get loose and had to back out of it, which has brought the entire top 4 together as DJ Kenner. The Iceman starting to look low on Jared Swaim. Kenny Passmore about 4 seconds behind. Jerry Bergeron has almost caught him, but they are gaining ground on the lead pack, as Mark Nelson has taken the lead. We saw that close call a minute ago. Mark out of 4 gets a big run down the front straightaway side by side into 1. And Mark clears mid-turn and starts opening up a gap out of turn 2. Back behind, DJ Kenner, another one who's been conserving tires. Jeff Oakes is on pit road. And the Unicorn out here cheering on the Mark Nelson. Don't forget, folks, right after the broadcast, the Unicorn will be on the road trucking again. DJ still lurking back behind Jared Swaim. Richie Jomplin just ahead of both of them. Mark Nelson has pulled out to a 1.7 second lead. Gerald Poole has now made his way up into 8th place. Thanos up 7 spots and closing the gap on 6th place, Kevin Bruner. Jeff Oaks is rolling off pit road, but it looks like he got a speeding penalty. Jeff Oaks got a penalty on pit entry, has lost a ton of ground. He was going to try and do this race on 2 stops, play out those fresher tires all night, but that penalty has really set him back. Jeff will be the fastest car on track for a while. Meanwhile, the battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, all 3 of them nose to tail. Anybody makes a mistake here, they could have problems. Swaim trying to look under Richie for 2nd. DJ Kenner will not make a big move unless he needs to. He will lurk and make you worry until you make a mistake and he goes by. Jeff Oaks on those fresh tires, and you see how quickly he made a gap on the cars he just went by. Jeff has a lot of ground to make up here. I would expect the leaders to come in around lap 40 to 41. Danny Passmore has also completed a stop. He is trying to split this race into a 2-stop event. And last time by, both of those drivers were over a second faster than the leader. Darrell Claudes, who lost some ground in the early going, trying to make some of it back up, just got by Gerald Poole, now sets his sights on Kevin Bruner. Bruner moves over, Claudes goes by. Hey, Kenny, yo, buddy. Danny Passmore currently in 13th, Jeff Oaks in 14th. These are the 2 cars with fresh tires. Keep an eye on Jeff Oaks coming through, and you'll see the difference. Tim St. Jean right ahead. He is already to the bumper. Out of 4, just shoots by. Had Oaks not gotten that speeding penalty, he would be battling his way up for the lead. Kenny Storkson cheering on 2nd place, Richie Jomplin, and let's ride along with Jeff Oaks on those fresh tires. Kevin Bruner dropping to the bottom to let Gerald Poole by. Slowed Oaks down just a little bit, but watch this. Oaks back on the power, out of 2. Bruner shoots to the bottom. He just shoots the gap. Off into turn 3. Gerald Poole just ahead. And Jeff is not passing for position. He is just trying to get back to the lead lap. Straightaway speed fairly equal, but you see the difference in the turns between old tires and fresh Goodyears. Oh! Mike Burgess kisses the wall, gets his Darlington stripe as the leader goes by. Richie Joplin in second, finally putting some breathing room between him and Jared Swaim. Jerry Bergeron has come to pit road. Jared Swaim is headed to pit road. And we are about to see pit road get very, very busy. Kenny Passmore is in. Mark Nelson turns down. He is headed in. DJ Kenner looks like he is headed in. Richie Joplin's going to stay out and lead a lap. Darrell Klotz in fourth is headed in. Gerald Poole staying out. Kevin Bruner stays out. Tim St. Jean is staying out. Mike Burgess also stays out. Jared Swaim on his way off pit road, as is Danny Passmore. Danny shooting under Gerald Poole. I'm sorry, Danny pitted on lap 25. Swaim drops all the way to the bottom. Gerald Poole stays out, leads a lap. Tim St. Jean also still on track. There's Jeff Oaks, who was the first to head to pit road, but picked up a speeding penalty. That good rubber has worn off, and now the leader has caught him. Oaks dropping to the bottom. He's going to let Mark by. Gerald Poole, Kevin Bruner are both in. That'll give the lead to Tim St. Jean. And Tim St. Jean is headed in. The lead will cycle back around to Mark Nelson. DJ Kenner will be in second. Jared Swaim right behind him in third. Richie Joplin back in fourth. Kenny Passmore in fifth. Darrell Klotz in sixth. Jerry Bergeron in seventh. Rod Potgieter in eighth. Gerald Thanos Poole in ninth. Just past the halfway point, Mark Nelson in the lead by almost 5 seconds. If anybody could run him down, it is that man in second place, DJ the Iceman Kenner. But last time they were here, Richie Joplin won the race. Richie back in fourth, was one of the latest to pit, meaning he has the freshest tires. And even though it's only by 2 laps, that 2 laps at Darlington can make the difference between victory lane and 5th place. Kenny Passmore holds on to 5th. Daryl Klotz now back into 6th. Jerry Bergeron in 7th has Rod Podgeter in 8th, closing in Gerald Thanos Poole not far behind in 9th. That car powered by Navy Joe Coffee's JP5 coffee. That'll get it done. This broadcaster also powered by Navy Joe Coffee. Kevin Bruner currently in 10th has just gone 1 lap down as Mark Nelson goes by. Jared Swaim has gotten by the Iceman to take 2nd. DJ back in 3rd now. Richie Joplin closing in quickly. Less than 2 seconds behind them now. Meanwhile, Mark Nelson continues to extend that lead. Now 5.7 seconds over Swaim and Kenner. But last time by, Richie Joplin was the fastest car on track. Richie Joplin at the moment 0.3 of a second faster than the leader and the 2 cars just ahead. Rod Podgeter in 7th as Danny Passmore, a lap car, goes past him. Jeff Oakes is back on pit road. He completed his 2nd stop without a penalty. How much ground can Jeff make up? He is back up into 13th. He will have the freshest, fastest car on track. Richie Joplin now less than a second behind DJ and Jared, 2nd and 3rd. Kenny Passmore sits in 5th, but Klotz is closing the gap in 6th. Podgeter in 7th as Thanos right behind. Jeff Oakes comes out on those fresh tires. I really expected Oakes to just shoot by him right there. Now he's going to make the move. Gerald Poole lurking right behind Rod Podgeter, but Jerry Bergeron, about 3/4 of a second back, is closing the gap. And they all have to worry. The leader, Mark Nelson, is right behind. This is the scariest point of the race for Mark Nelson. He has a 6.5 second lead, but he has to be careful coming through this lap traffic. Things could go very, very wrong very, very quickly. Kevin Bruner following Mark around the track. Currently runs in 10th, closing in on Jerry Bergeron in 9th. Jared Swaim has finally put some space between him and the Iceman. Richie Joplin just about 0.6 of a second behind DJ. Mark Nelson, the leader, now in heavy lap traffic. Jeff Oakes currently in 13th, about a lap behind Mike Burgess in 12th at the moment. About 33 seconds behind, but Oakes is over 1.5 seconds a lap faster at the moment, so he might be able to pick up at least one more spot, make up a little bit of ground from that speeding penalty. Daryl Klotz has just gotten past Kenny Passmore to take 5th. Klotz about 10 seconds behind 4th place Richie Joplin. Richie having lost some ground to DJ, but DJ is closed back up on Jared Swaim. Tim St. Jean back in 11th, also moving closer to Kevin Bruner in 10th. And Mark Nelson still in lap traffic right behind Jerry Bergeron. Jerry is still on the lead lap until Mark gets by. Jerry's going to do everything he can to maintain that lead lap, but it may cost Mark some time. Meanwhile, Kevin Bruner right behind the leader, but is closing the gap on Bergeron. Gerald Poole also just ahead. Rod Potgieter now has Gerald Poole all over the back bumper. Tim St. Jean trying to find his way back into the top 10. Last season was Tim's best season so far. A lot more consistency out of him. Danny Passmore has towed to pit road. And looks like his race is done. Tim St. Jean's consistency and speed have improved over the last 2 seasons dramatically. Tim came into tonight 14th in points after having missed one of the races. I expect we'll see Tim moving up the points after tonight. Mark Nelson finally got past Jerry Bergeron, putting him a lap down. Now Jerry in trouble with Kevin Bruner right behind. Meanwhile, Mark Nelson navigating his way through more lap traffic has gotten past Gerald Poole. Now Potgieter moves over and lets him by. That has brought Potgieter closer to Poole. Looked like Rod may have gotten a stripe there through 3 and 4. Jared Swaim sits in second place. The Iceman still sitting on his bumper. Richie Joplin back in fourth, 2 seconds back. Richie had that amazing charge from over 5 seconds back after pit stops. Unfortunately, it looks like Richie has used up the tires. He can't reel them in any further. Gerald Poole currently in 8th, still on Potgieter's bumper. Kevin Bruner still right behind Jerry Bergeron. Mike Burgess sits in 12th. Jeff Oakes in 13th is closing in rapidly. Tim St. Jean moving over in 11th is not gaining any ground on Bruner at the moment, but Bruner closing in on Bergeron. Oh! Potgieter got the wall out of 2. Gerald's got to run, has to shoot to the bottom. Potgieter barely holds on to that. Wow, what a save by Rod Potgieter. And a great job holding on to his position. Have his tires gone away. Gerald may have a run. Gerald's got the nose to the inside, but can't get it done yet. Jerry Bergeron still holding off Kevin Bruner. Rod Potgieter still holds off Gerald Poole for the moment. DJ Kenner has gotten past Jared Swaim, now to second. But Mark Nelson now has a 10-second lead at Darlington. Gerald Poole finally managed to get past Potgieter, now into 7th. Gerald, the biggest mover of the night, started in 15th, up 8 spots. Rod Potgieter having a great night himself, started in 11th, up to 8th. Oh, Bruner gets the wall. He gets himself a Darlington stripe. There will not be a car in this field without a damaged right side after tonight. Mark Nelson continuing to extend his lead as he comes down for 5 to go. Richie Joplin said before the race he was hoping for a top 5. Looks like he's going to get it done here tonight. DJ Kenner, Jared Swaim, both looking like they will be on the podium. And Mark Nelson, the points leader, way out front, just needs to cruise from here. Kevin Bruner trying to close that gap to get one more shot at Bergeron. Mark Nelson continues to lead down the back straightaway. His lead continuing to grow, almost 11 seconds over the Iceman. And Bruner just gave up his shot at Bergeron, moving over, letting DJ by. That is sportsmanship, folks. Through turns 3 and 4. Here we go. White flag is in the air. One more time around for the Mark Nelson. An 11.2 second lead over the Iceman. He took it easy at the start, conserved his tires in the second half of the first run, went past everybody and just checked out. Nobody's gotten any closer. Mark Nelson wins at Darlington. DJ the Iceman Kenner coming home in second. And Jared Swaim will pull off third. Richie Joplin comes home in fourth. Daryl Klotz finishes fifth. Hey, good evening, Stephen. Don't forget, folks, right after the broadcast, we will switch over here in just a few moments. The Unicorn will be trucking. But let's talk to our winner, the Mark Nelson. Well, the Mark Nelson is the winner again.
Yeah, thanks, Doug. Boy, that race didn't start out looking very good, but it got a lot better.
I was wondering about that because at the start you lost some ground, and it looked like my assumption was you were just doing some tire saving because the second half of that first run, you had all the speed.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw it, but I went to upshift to fourth gear on that start, and the car turned right. I'm like, that's like a backwards Canadian restart, but whatever. But, you know, after the restart, I was trying to kind of get into my groove, and sometimes it takes me a while, and I kept bumping the wall a little bit and lost ground. But you know, other people get props for being long run drivers, but you know, I'm kind of in there in that area too, and that's really what I enjoy is long runs, and it paid off.
Well, you got it done once again. You'll extend your points lead. Another great night. Congratulations, Mark.
Thank you, Doug.
And now we get to talk to third place Jared Swain. And Jared, I really, at points during this, thought you were going to come home in second, and it looked like early on you might have a win under here. Jared, you're muted, buddy. Jared, you got me? Well, it looks like Jared may be having some problems with his mic. Jared, you got me? We will try and get an interview with Jared next week. Our apologies. I don't know what's going on. Jared, you got me? I'm not sure what's going on with his mic, but don't forget, the community convoy will be up here in just a few minutes, folks, so make sure you tune in. Go tell the unicorn hello. And, man, hope everybody had as much fun as we did. Have a great night, folks.